So babe, now that you have this inversion table, what do you do with it on travel days?
So we partially disassemble it, put it on our bed in the master bedroom. Fits there, rides there really nicely. It's a little bit bulky getting to the door, but it's been a lifesaver. The same inversion table that the chiropractor was using in Gulf Shores, Alabama. So for around $150 on Amazon, we bought this, and it's saving the cost of the chiropractor. Essentially doing the same thing. It's been 2 months now. My back is back in shape again, and I'm doing a lot to help protect it around here, and also trying to lose a little bit of weight because weight doesn't help your back either. So that's just watch your back when you're a full-time RVer. So as I mentioned earlier, I threw my back out in November, and I started thinking about all the things that we do as full-time RVers that can adversely affect our back if we don't lift the right way. So one of the heaviest things that we have are these Rad Runner bikes, which we have to mount on the back of our rig. So in order to get them up on the bike rack, you have to lift them. Oftentimes I try to do it by myself, but I need to ask for help and not try to do it myself. So I'll ask my lovely wife Sherryl to help me.
Okay. Another thing you're lifting. What is that?
One of the things, I don't always run with my rock tamers when we're in a site for a long time. So these rock tamers I take off the back of the truck and put them back here. So now I'm going to put them back on the truck again so that I don't throw stuff up on the rig. But they weigh about 40 pounds. I'm trying to make sure I lift with my legs as I take these ultimately to the back of the truck. Right now I'm just going to set them here and show you this bike rack holds our electric bikes. It can hold about 200 pounds worth of bikes, which means I could leave the battery on the bike if I wanted to, but that just makes the bike heavier. So one of the first things I do to watch my back is to take the battery off of the electric bike.
And this is what we're doing travel day today.
Today is travel day, so we're loading up a lot of things. Doesn't matter as a full-timer if you're going only 40 miles, which we're going today, or you're going 400 miles. The process is still the same. Everything has to be put away in its place. Lifting has to take place. You do all your safety checks. 40 miles or 400, it's all the same. So this battery, about 10, 15 pounds, I take off and store in the outdoor kitchen area, which is not really an outdoor kitchen for me. It's just more storage area.
It looks like your garage.
Kind of a garage number 2.
Yeah.
And then this bike then goes on to the back of the rig, onto our Hollywood bike rack, which is specifically designed for the back of fifth wheels. It's a little heavier duty, and can hold the weight of this bike. So now we're going to pause for a minute while Sherryl helps me mount this bike to the bike rack, because she can't do both, holding the camera and help me do this in order to protect my back. Before I threw my back out, I would always put this on by myself and brag about to Sherryl that I'm the He-Man that she married. And then one day I was in the hospital. So we put this on, Sherryl and I together, and that made life a lot easier.
I'd like to point out, I don't know if most wives would lift these heavy bikes with you.
Most wives don't do near the things that you do. That's why I'm so lucky to have you as my wife.
Oh, thank you.
So now we're securing, Sherryl helped me put the second bike on. We're securing that. My back feels amazing. Okay, so some of the other things that I lift aren't that heavy, awkward to get to. Like I always put our grill under the rig, keep the weather off of it. And now I have to like lean up underneath here and get it. I'm watching my legs, lifting with my legs to get it out of here. And I store this in the back of the truck. So Put it in the back of the truck. Unfortunately,
You can't get into the truck yet.
I don't think I can get this thing down. No, I'm gonna have to wait. So we're just gonna set it here on the tailgate for now.
But we store quite a bit up there, don't we?
We keep the ladder in here. We carry the kids' bike trailer in here. I carry
The fire
an
pit.
extra propane cylinder in the back of the truck. Again, weight. This one doesn't have much in it right now, so it doesn't weigh that much. But I keep it right here in this basket. Has a ring. Make sure it's off. Again, for safety purposes, better to store that here in the back of the truck. And then we also have a propane fire pit that's similar to the grill I keep up underneath here. So again, I have to like reach down underneath here, get it out, lift it up, put it back in the truck. Again, here's another thing. You never know how high this part of the fifth wheel is going to be. It's all based on the pad where you are. This one's very level, so this is about standard height. But for me, I'm too tall, so here again, I'm leaning over to get up underneath this because I parked my truck too close to the kingpin. So here I am leaning over again.
Watch your head.
Get up underneath here. I've hit my head on this several times. We won't say any more about that. But here, when we come around this side of the rig, things that I still have to do before we leave is gather up all the stinky slinkies, clean those up, which requires a lot of leaning over, get those all cleaned up. At the very end of the day, the power cord, you have to roll that up and put it away into the basement, and it's heavy as well.
Yeah, that's not light.
No, we got all this stuff to do. Oftentimes, before I threw my back out, I would get up underneath here and do a lug nut check to make sure they were tightened according to the spec as far as the foot-pounds, and I would do that while the slide was out. Not good for my back, being up underneath there trying to tighten those. So now I wait until Sherryl moves the slide in to do that. We'll show that a little bit later on. And then also the cross chocks. I would get up underneath and get those cross chocks out between the tires, which helps stabilize the unit. I would do that before the slide was in. Again, not a good thing for my back. So that's just a few of the things that we'll show a little bit later on. Maybe we'll just show them, I won't talk you through them. But so it's just a lot of things that you're lifting and pulling and getting in odd positions for travel day that aren't good for your back. All right.
You love putting these away.
I love these bikes. I'm glad I have a big basement, but it's still kind of a hassle to get in there. And as you can see, just kind of awkward to get things in here. And, I've done it enough times that I've kind of figured out the puzzle. See what I mean? There's always something a little bit.
Is this why you threw your back out?
Easy peasy. Sherryl bought these weights 6 months ago.
I use them.
They spend most of their time right here.
I use them all the time, don't I?
Right here. Here they are. We bought these. Extra 10 pounds of weight. But I have upgraded axles.
You have upgraded
So
axles, so you said I could keep them.
Newest addition at Christmas, Santa Claus brought these razor scooters. So another thing to store in the basement.
You love putting up all the kid stuff.
We're twins, we always have two of everything. Right there. We have all these chairs. One time we had 4 people in addition to us, which is 6. So we bought extra chairs. Since then, we've never had a guest. So I just carry the extra chairs around with us. It's always fun.
These are all the things that John does not like about travel day.
Now I start stacking chairs in around it,
Like Tetris style.
like Tetris.
Now, babe, someone just say, why don't you put it in the back of the trailer behind the fifth wheel?
Put what?
Like stuff behind the fifth wheel hitch. Don't we have room there?
We do. But I always worry about the cord.
Like the brake line.
The emergency brake cord, and also the electric cord. It does flop in that same section. We'll show that a little bit later. I don't like things to be in there. I know some people do, but I really don't like it. Safety first. And I'd rather not have that brake engage and my tires lock up on my trailer, which wouldn't be good.
Over a chair.
Over a chair. So we figure out how to get them in here. So we're going to go with no audio for a second, because sometimes I've been known to
You don't say
something
curse words
a
like
little
pickles.
a little off color when I'm trying to get the stuff in there.
Oh, peanut butter.
Peanut butter.
Son of a biscuit.
Son of a biscuit. Oh, look, more chairs. Where are all these chairs coming from? I don't know. We'll get them in here somewhere.
Well, maybe on this video we could post like a fireside challenge. Somebody could want to be our friend in a campground, and we can invite them to a campfire.
Yeah.
And have plenty of chairs.
I think I'm going to stop asking for YouTube subscribers and just asking for real friends that would actually spend time with us.
We should do that. Hashtag bright days ahead, friends.
Yeah. I can stop doing YouTube and have real friends. Oh, I prefer subscribers. Oh. We still have chairs.
Now, in fairness, we get invited to campfires.
We do, so we bring our own chairs.
But sometimes we can't go to the campfires because
the children go to bed at 7:30 or 8, and campfires last until 9 or 10. So unless the campfire's here, we have to leave our children alone, and that doesn't work.
Yeah,
well
so
Child Protective Services.
or our conscience or parenting styles.
Or our parenting style. See, even the girls have chairs. They haven't used these since 2020. I've carried them around.
I don't want to point out the obvious, but you still have another chair.
Another chair. So that's a total of 8 chairs that I just put in here.
Well, when we get friends, we'll have plenty of chairs. Travel day is over, and we are now at Camp Margaritaville in Auburndale, Florida. It is the latest Margaritaville RV resort, and it's beautiful. Look at this astroturf. It's just begging for a few exercises. So we just want to complete kind of the routine that John has been doing to get his back into shape. And he says, I have more face for the video. He has face for radio. I don't agree. So comment below if you want to see more of John. So these exercises are just very simple. It's just trying to stretch out your back and do the recovery. John's also showed you how he's used his inversion machine, and we've done a lot of massage, heat, and ice. So here's a few. Some of them just start with normal, gentle yoga poses, like simply touching your toes and hanging and stretching out your back like this. Then another stretch you can try is you can go into more the downward dog. This is helping your hamstrings, your glutes, and supporting that back. You can move into a cobra pose. It's really stretching your upper back. I really like child's pose. It kind of rounds out the back. Stretch, 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 stretch. And then a couple spine twists. You can do a few. There's a few options depending on what you can feel comfortable with in your body. Put your leg here, your arm here, and you stretch. So you're getting this stretch in your lower back here. Go as far as you feel comfortable with. You're just starting out. And do these repetitions. Set your timer for doing 5 to 10 minutes a day, morning and night, just while you're getting your back into position. Another option, and John really likes this, it's called Happy Baby. You lay on your back, try to grab your toes, and you can kind of twist your back and roll back and forth. You're massaging that lower back. You want to make sure your spine is pressed down into the ground. Really just stretch. You can bring these legs over. You kind of go the opposite way. And then roll up, real gentle. And go this way. So those are a few stretches. If you're really having problems with like your hip flexors in here in your lower back, you can kind of just do the simple, like an opposite inverse pigeon. So you're not getting into any crazy movements. You're just trying to really do these few simple stretches of your back, and that's really helped John. Okay, and then when you have done several of those stretches and you're feeling stronger, you really want to start strengthening your core. Again, this is not a huge exercise routine and no judging here, but you want to start moving into plank. So you can either do on your arms like this. You want to raise your hips up. Everything needs to be in the same position. And you want to start challenging yourself and holding yourself up. Is it 30 seconds and work your way up to a minute? Maybe it's only 10 seconds. Then you can then start even to do it this way. A really nice strong plank. You're holding it in your core. And what this is it's strengthening your entire core that protects your back. So we hope that you find yourself recovering. And just remember, full-time travel doesn't look always that hard, but everything that you do is using your body. So watch your back, and we hope that you have many more bright days ahead.